Hey everybody, how's it going? Let me know if you can hear me all right. I was having some mic issues this morning, but hopefully it's good. Quick recap. So, in the last stream, we were working on getting Lua scripting embedded and working. I can confidently say that the POC is going pretty good. Yeah, you're good. Thank you, Jack on Seprio. I hope I said that right. But thank you. Yeah. So last stream we were working on Lua scripting. I did get that working. I've got a script object in here, which we can see has all these squares. It is this checkerboard over here to the left. And if I actually jump into it, it is this script. Can't actually see the full file path, but it is checkerboard.luau. And you can see I've just got a loop in here, a couple loops. We're also writing out logger.writeFoo for some reason. So I'll actually take that out because we don't need that. But anyways, we're going in, we create a bunch of child objects going from -5 to 5. So like just to prove that this does work, if I change this to -4 to 4, then we should only create a board that's 8 by 8. And so if we go back into here and I regenerate this, you can see the board has gotten smaller. So yeah. The way you say it, Seprio or Seprio. So I got it right. Okay, cool. Well, good to see you too. First time here, I see. So yeah, we've got this thing working all good. Works with the rest of the animations and stuff as well. So that's also nice. Eventually, I will be adding other types of scripts, which you can have like scriptable animations here. Not only scriptable objects, which you can add here. You can see script object. And so those will be able to be dragged onto the timeline, and you can write Lua code to basically do that. We also have to add in support for inspector variables so that, like, say instead of having this, I could have a local variable in here called like board size, right, equals 8. And then we could go like from negative board size over 2 to board size over 2. And then on inspector, we'll have something in here that's basically like, oh, here's how you... here's a control for the board size, so you can edit it in the actual engine or editor. But yeah, so that's the plan. We'll get there eventually. One of the things that was really helpful in getting the rest of this working was adding in support for printing tables. So if I write out the parent, which is this math animation object, and we run this again and pull up our console, then we can see we get this big old dump here. And we can see all the methods. I have the methods with explicit detail. I might add like a toString method that doesn't write out all functions because they're kind of long and clutter everything. But we can also see like the ID of the parent game object. We can see the SVG object's pointer to its ID, and then we can also see what the SVG object's pointer itself is, and the parent, which it's null pointer, which makes sense. And then we can see that we have all the functions on there, which is good because we should have those functions. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Today, though, we're going to be doing syntax highlighting. So the problem that I want to solve today is one of the things that was kind of hard to do in Manum was you can write text really easily, right? So I can drag in text objects like this. But if you ever wanted to go and do code blocks, you'd have to go in and manually kind of color the different portions of the text. And right now, the only way you can color portions of text in here is if you go in to an individual letter, change the color. And you can do this, but this is excruciatingly slow. So that's definitely not the way I want you to be able to color your text, right? Especially for code, I want you to be able to say, hey, this is a code block, automatically color it, please, and use syntax coloring and stuff, right? So how do you do that? Well, you can do that by kind of stealing what VS Code does. So this is our plan. And Savanch, how's it going? Good to see you. So the way VS Code does syntax highlighting is they use, you can actually go to their website because I kind of looked it up. I wanted to see what it worked. And they've got a great guide here. They basically break it up. We're not going to worry about semantic stuff, just syntax stuff, because semantic stuff is a whole nother level. And that's like actually writing entire parsers. And I don't want to do that. And Savanch, bruh, I don't like that Twitch changes my Oh, to a robot. That's a lot of things do that nowadays. Discord does that too. And it's really annoying when it's like, no, I just wanted an ASCII smiley face, but you're throwing in the emoji for me. But good to know that. I'll keep that in mind from now on too for other people. So the way that VS Code does syntax highlighting, they have semantic highlighting too. So you can actually have either of these, but they do it based on TextMate grammars. They don't do it based on TextMate. They do it based on TextMate grammars. And from what I understand, TextMate is like a editor for Mac OS. So this is TextMate. And so the reason VS Code decided to use this is because the TextMate grammars support a lot of different languages, right? Because it's used on Mac OS and it's been around. So they're like, don't try and invent our own thing. Let's reuse what other people have. And so they actually have a link to this, which is the TextMate grammars kind of guide. And it goes and shows an example grammar, blah, 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 all this stuff. It also mentions in here that it uses I'm going to say this horribly wrong, but Onigurama, I have no idea how to say that, regex. So we're just going to call it the O regex, okay? Because I'm not going to try and pronounce that again, which is this thing. It's open source, I believe. Yes, maybe. Just see. Oh, it's a custom license. All rights reserved, redistribution and use in source and binary forms with or without modification are permitted, provided that the following conditions are met. Redistributions of source code must retain the above copyright notice, this list of conditions, and the following disclaimer. Redistributions in binary form must reproduce the above copyright notice, this list of conditions, and the following disclaimer in the documentation, and or other materials provided with the distribution. Okay, cool. So it's like MIT license. I think this is the MIT license. Not quite sure. And this is another thing that I've been wanting to do as well. I'm using a lot of open source libraries. One of the things that I'm going to add very soon is like an attribution panel. So I'll have like a title bar up here, right, where it has like file, open new project, whatever, all that stuff. And there'll probably be like an about. And I'll also launch this when you're first starting up the application with just a list of attributions of all the open source projects. And of course, I'm going to also have all of the copyright notices distributed along with the application when I finally do go and start distributing this. Because I've been reminded of just how important it is for people to get attribution. You know, if you're using their stuff, it's good to let people know that you're using their stuff. But anyways, they use this library for their regexes. Wait, so this is made in C++? This is made in C++, yes. And TGO Clan, am I late? You are not late. You're good. So it uses these types of regexes. And how do the grammars work? Well, sorry, excuse me. I'm going to try not to sniffle too, because that's obnoxious to me at least. So the way this works is you basically have a grammar, which has a list of patterns. You have a couple different kinds of patterns you can have. You can have these simple patterns, which are just a name, which this is kind of like CSS scope selectors. They call it a scope name. So it's kind of like it drills down further and further. These are for the styling. So this is so that the themes can select which one they're doing. And then it has a regex, which is the match. So this is saying, okay, if it matches an if, while, for, or return, then this is what this thing is called. You can also have more complex matches. So these ones only run on a single line. So if your match is a simple pattern, then it only looks from the beginning of the line to the end of the line. And if it doesn't find the match within that line, then it stops. Whereas these begin-end matches, which I'm calling complex patterns, these can span multiple lines, and they can have patterns of their own. So you can have, like, for this example, this one is a double quoted string, which can span multiple lines. Well, actually, I don't think it can. This one, yeah, I don't know. I think this one can span multiple lines, but I don't think it's working properly. But anyways, within this, so like if you match a double backslash dot, so backslash any character, then that matches as an escape untitled character, right? So basically you can match within this begin end block. So whatever's in between those, these are where these patterns are matching against. So that's kind of the basic structure of this. You can also have repositories, which are like so that you can do stuff like this. So repositories basically mean you can say include comments. And then if I go and look for comments, it's in this repository structure, and we have this thing comments. And then if we look in here, it says include line comment, which means, oh, we can look here, and that's what the actual pattern is. So that. And CGO clan, wait, syntax highlighter for what? And also what editor? This is like the VS Code grammars. I've stolen this grammar that we're looking at from here. No, from here. And then we're also going to use this theme to start. So this is a minimal CPP syntax, and this is VS Code 1 monokai. Once I eventually do use it, I'm going to go and like properly submodule these repositories and stuff and get them added appropriately. But anyways, we're doing syntax highlighter for code editor within the animation editor. So yeah. But this is the basic way that this works. I've gone ahead. I've already started this. So this grammar is huge, right? It's very big. There's a lot of, it seems complex. And this is the thing too. I remember I was watching Coding Daily. Give me one moment. I was watching Coding Daily when he was parsing Java bytecode. And he was talking about this, about how like when you're doing something huge and complex like this, right? This is 1,000 lines of code. You start off writing it and it's very verbose. You're like, okay, how do I get this? How do I get this? And it seems super complex and you don't see how it all fits together. And then you get a little bit of code up and all of a sudden it's like you start reusing it and it works. And that's exactly how I feel with this. It only took about 350 lines of code to kind of parse the structure out of there. That is with a JSON library, of course. But I already have kind of like a nicer structure. So if we look in here, this is how I've kind of typed it all out. Basically, we're going to have grammars, which have their name, their scoped name. So if we take a look up here again, we can kind of see what this is relating to. So we have the name of the grammar, then we have the scoped name, which is basically, right, we can drill down once again if we want to. We have file types, which aren't required. And then we have a list of all the patterns. And we have a map of all the repositories. So if we look at what a repository looks like, it just looks like a name followed by a list of patterns. Okay, so very similar to like the actual grammar itself. It's kind of a recursive structure. And then a pattern has a type, which I've said it can be a simple pattern or a complex one, which are the ones I've talked about. It can be an include pattern, and an include pattern is this, where it's just referencing some other thing in the repository. Or it can be an array, which an array is just something like, actually, this is an array, right? So this one is an array because it's a patterns block, but it doesn't actually have any specific pattern. It's just an array of different things. So those are the types of patterns, and then we have a bunch of optionals here. And so whichever one type it is, this will not be optional. So it'll kind of like sync up here. And then we also have a scoped name, which is also optional. So you can have anonymous patterns as well, which we'll kind of figure out when we get there. And then complex patterns, we basically have this capture list, and then we have syntax patterns, and we have the begin, the end. We need to replace these with the regex, so that's one of the first things that we're going to do here. And then same thing for simple pattern, and then a capture list is just a vector of scoped names, which are the captures. And if we take a look, that's exactly what they look like. So if we take a look down here, and what a capture list is too, I should probably explain that. So you can see we have this capture list. It says it captures 1, 2, and 3, which are these scoped names. That basically means if you capture anything in between this first block, that's 1. This is the second block, I think, right? Exponent decimal.cpp. Possibly. I don't know. I think that's how the match, the captures work. I might be wrong. It might be 0 based. So this might be 1. This would be 2. Suffix floating point. Possibly. This regex is very complicated. So yeah. And then this would be 3, I guess. I have no idea. But anyways, that's what these are for. And we don't have to worry about them as long as we get that regex working. So that's why we're going to go ahead and get that done first. So let's go ahead, add this library, first order of business. And Kush Zay, I hope I said that right. How's it going? Good to see you. And Voxrufs, good to see you as well. And what language is highlighting for? It's for all the languages. We're going based off the TextMate grammars, which is a specification that allows you to create just a generic syntax highlighter. It's the same thing that VS Code uses. So TextMate is Mac OS editor. VS Code uses their grammars to take advantage of that, and I'm going to do the same thing. So we'll be able to use VS Code extensions basically for this. What were we doing? We are going to go ahead and submodule this guy out. So let's go into here, and we're going to say get submodule add to animations, and actually I like doing that vendor, and this is, I know how to spell it, I don't know how to say it and I'm not gonna try and say it again. So yeah, we'll add it there. Oh, regex. And if we go into here, we can see that we've got it correctly. Cool. Now he uses CMake, which is a problem because I still haven't switched to CMake yet. But he's also very nice because he listed all the source files, which makes this so much easier because now I can literally just go through and we can add a project ourselves. So what I'm going to do now, for any of you who use CMake, you're going to be like, this is disgusting. Why would you do it like this? Well, it's because it's easier. I'm just going to compile it myself, and we're going to add a project in Premake for this. So going to do this. And it's really annoying. Ever since I installed the extension for Luau, it hates Premake, which is, the syntax highlighting was working fine before this, but not now. So this is this guy. It's going to be a static library, C++17. Is that right? Let me just check and see. Yeah, C++17 works good enough for me. If it is in C, I'll have to upgrade it because these are all C extensions. Ooh. Yeah. If it is in C and he uses designated initializers, I can use C++20 to get around that. It's probably better if I just use C though. We'll use C11. It's probably a safe bet. Okay. So we got that. We have the output directories. And then we need to add all these files. And are these all? Let's see. Are they just dumped in here? No, it doesn't look like they are. Source. Okay, it looks like they're just in here, which is easy enough. I wonder if it's just all of these files. Like, can I just do a star.c and a star.h? Will that be fine? Hopefully. We'll find out. This is the only header file we need to, and that's kind of obnoxious. I wish didn't have to include the whole directory for that, but it is what it is. Okay, we're just gonna try this. Animation / vendor / this guy / star.c. Okay, and then for the include, we'll say that guy. And that should be fine. Oh, we do need to define something for static libraries. He did mention that too. Up here. Oh, does he? No, samples are in sample. Okay, that's good. For static linking. If you want to static link the library and Win32, add the option ONIG extern equals C to the C compiler. Okay, and he is using C clearly here. So we'll do that. Defines this. I think that's all we need to do for that. Okay, so that's good. Debug, we're using multi-threaded dynamic debug because of Luau, and that's fine. Okay, I think that's it, basically. That's all we gotta do. I do need to add the include directory for myself too, so we'll go up here. And sorry for the horrible syntax highlighting. I wish it worked, but it doesn't. Like, worked properly. And I can't go in here. I don't think I have a pre-make. I think I was just using Lua before for this, but yeah, that's not working anymore. Okay, let's see if that is working. So we'll go ahead, we'll say build. No, C11 is wrong for CPP dialect, but it's not CPP. I think maybe C11. Try that. Nope. Let's see. Pre-make C. Language. C. Okay. Well, what do we use after that? This is all they give me. This isn't a lot. I need to, where's the dialect? Oh, I need to say C dialect. That's why. Yeah, that's helpful. There we go. Okay. Because C is not C++. That makes sense. We'll reload our library here. And then I'm going to go into here and we're going to include it just to make sure that we can. Okay, so that's not a good start, the fact that it's not seeing it. So let's see, is the project in here? We do have a project. We have sample source. Okay, it looks like it got all the source. Oh, I included everything. That's not good, first of all. This should be /source/star. And this should be /include. Or no, /source. Okay. Let's try this one more time. And I'll check chat in just a minute. Just want to get this kind of up first. If we reload, okay, now this is fine. Looks like this is okay. Let's try and build it. Okay, no config.h. So we might need to run cmake on this guy. I should have just used cmake. Would make this so much easier. Yeah, okay, so let's see if we go into here. I'm just gonna do this real quick. So make directory build, push directory build, cmake ... Okay, did that work? We have this. Kushze, I've been programming for like 10 years and looking at this feel like a total noob. Nah, it's I felt like a total noob looking at it too, don't worry. So most of which has been in C++. Regex library, yes, this is a regex library that we got to use. I am proudly using things that other people have built so that I don't have to rebuild half this stuff. So yeah. Okay, so the build succeeds here. Let's see what it built very quickly. We've got debug. Nice, okay, so, oh, and it's creating a DLL. How do you do CMake options again? Can I just do this? And then we want that. I think I can. If we do that, manually specified variables were not used. Well, really what we need is just that config.h, and I'm wondering if this generates one or if there's a config.h out here. Or if it runs something that like generates a config. No, okay, maybe I just need to include this thing, possibly. Maybe. No, okay, I'm lying again. I think it's got to be in this build folder somewhere. So we have this. No, that's just those. Nope, maybe Windows. generated? No. Weird. Okay, so there's got to be config.h. Oh, it's right there. I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah, so the CMake file does generate a config. So one thing that I could do, which is super ugly, and I'm just doing this because I just want to move on with the stream, we're going to go ahead and go into build.batch. And we're just going to go and do this. So we run this. Let's also go, we're going to say if dir exists, no, exists, dot slash animation slash vendor slash this slash, yeah, just this one. Then we're going to do, oh man, and I can't remember how stupid if statements in batch work. Batch. Okay, what about multi-line if statement? Because that's what I really want. Multi-line if statement. If block, yes. Okay, if statement do, okay, you have to wrap it in parentheses. Okay, so we're going to say if not exist. Let's look it up. Batch, if not exist. Okay, so it should just work, just if not exist. Don't know why it wasn't highlighting that. If not exist, this slash build slash config.h. Then we're going to go make directory. Yeah. And then we're going to say push directory. And then we're going to say cmake dot dot. And then we're going to say pop directory. Okay. So that should do nothing if I run it. Well, that didn't help. Okay, cd dot dot, cd dot dot, cd dot dot. Okay, so if we say, and let me zoom that in a little bit. If we say build VS 2022, yeah, so it didn't run that, but then if we go ahead and delete that, if we delete this, we should see it. Yeah, okay, so now it's working good. This will be nice too, because I think the build folder also builds an include directory, if I remember right. Does it or does it not? Windows, nope. Or is this the include directory? Maybe. No, we have config.h, which is good because we need that. I'm sorry if you guys hear lawn equipment outside. They're doing a leaf blower for whatever reason. It is snowing, and I hear a leaf blower outside because people in Tennessee are crazy. So, sorry if you hear that. By the way, too, it was like 60 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday, and now it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and there's an inch of snow on the ground. The weather here is crazy. Anyways, so this is good now. If we build again, it doesn't run it. So that's good. We need to change, though, pre-make and actually add that directory. So we'll go down here, and we will also say include the build. And doing this should make everything fine. So if we do that, we should be good now if we try and rebuild it. So we're going to do this. Voxel riffs. That's just a warning. It's already worked. No, it did say build files have been written to whatever. It might have been a warning and I just completely missed it. That's entirely possible. Let's see if this works though. If it does, I'd rather have the config in there. This doesn't like all these. EGCB data, Unicode property data. Okay, it's weird that we have more issues now. Did I do something weird? And now it can't find that file either. That's really strange. Source. Okay, so we still have that in there. Don't know what's wrong with that guy. That still exists as well. Okay. Did I remove the include in here? Oh, I swear I changed this to source. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I might be going crazy here. Okay, anyways, we'll rebuild that again. But that still doesn't fix these new errors, which are coming up, I'm guessing, because those files aren't supposed to be included. Yeah, I don't see, I think there was one like EGC data or something. So we have Unicode EGC data. Is that in his list? No, it's not. Okay, well, that's fine. We can fix that too. So we can just say exclude files, I think it is. Let's just double check. Pre-make exclude files. Remove files. This is why we double check, because it makes it simpler. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove this one, which is, I'm going to go here to grab the file name, Unicode wbdata.c. Okay, let's see what else, because I think there's a few in here. Unicode property data posix.c. Definitely doesn't sound like a Windows thing. And I just did that wrong. There we go. Property data. I think this is the last one. Okay, and let me just double check again. He did not have these included. No. Okay. Let's rebuild this. We should get less errors, if not have it succeed. So let's just check and see. Build. Where is build? Thank you. Okay, I'm missing one more. EGCB data. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And we'll go ahead and add that there. Okay, and then let's also, while we're at it, go up to my library, which is now linking to this. Where are my linkers? I have some links here. Here we go. This is where it is. So we can go ahead, other pre-make projects. Do that. Should be good. That is one nice thing about having it as a project in here. I don't have to like manually find the folder it's in and everything. Pre-make will figure all that stuff out for me, which is nicer than like running CMake and then building it locally and then finding it out and stuff. Okay. ONG Unicode folds one already defined and Unicode fold data.obj. I'm guessing Unicode fold is not in here as well. No, Unicode fold data is. Okay, so that's fine. It does say it succeeded voxel riffs this time. It probably did last time too, but I do want to make sure that I'm not doing something weird because this doesn't sound right to me. ONIG Unicode folds. Let's do this. Let's see if we can find it just to be sure. Let's do. Okay, we'll just do it in the entire solution. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got that in fold 1 key.c, fold 2 key.c, fold 3 key.c, and fold data. And so what I'm guessing is he doesn't have those fold 1, fold 2, fold 3, and he does not. So I'm gonna, it would probably be easier if I just went and copied all the files that he says to use instead of doing this. But you know, it is what it is. So that is in Unicode fold 3 key.c. I think we have that 2 and 3. Is that correct? 3, 2, and 1. Yes. Okay, so that's that. Try this one last time. And do we get compilation with no errors or warnings? Okay, no warnings. Let's just rebuild just to be sure. No, we're getting that folds 1 still. Second definition ignored. Huh. Did I spell it wrong? Unicode. Oh, Unicode. Unicode folds 1. Oh, did I not get that one? Fold 1 key.c. Fold 1 key.c. Am I missing something here? Did I spell it wrong here? Fold 1 key.c. That's weird. Oh, I wonder if it's because this is using that. Interesting. Possibly? No, I don't know. This is weird. Fold data.c. Well, that one's supposed to be included. He has that listed here. Well, you know, we'll just go with it, I guess. I removed it. It says it's in the remove files, and that looks correct. Is there any way I can copy which file this is? If we go click into it, let's see. So if we click into it, I can probably say like show in folder. No, because Visual Studio is crap. No, copy full path. That's even better. Okay, I take it back, Visual Studio. You at least can do that. Let's just do this just to make sure, because I've had typos before that you just can't see. And I'd rather make sure that it's not my stupidity. That looks exactly the same to me, though. So if this works, but the last one didn't, I don't know. Maybe I copied a weird Unicode character, you know, since we're talking about Unicode. Who knows? Okay, so we do that. Yeah, we didn't even reload this. So that tells me it probably didn't actually do anything. So what I'm guessing is like he includes dynamically whichever one he actually needs or something. So this might actually not work right. But we'll try it out. We'll see what happens. Why is this not happy? I swear, if this has changed again, I know I did not change it this time. Okay, it's not changed. That's good. But we do have it listed here. So we should be fine. Like, it should find that. Yeah, so it's even showing it. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It's with a U. And I think I've already spelled it wrong. The damage is done. We're not changing that. Yeah, I've spelled it wrong. I'm sorry to whoever this guy is. It's going to stay that way forever in my code base because there's no way I'm going and changing the submodule and everything. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and actually add this to core. This might pollute our global namespace, but that's fine. Regex library for TextMate grammar. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. Now we can go into here and we can replace these with proper regexes. So instead of saying std string, we're going to say, does he give a usage guide? I don't think he does. He has samples though. Let's take a look at one of the samples. So we've got a sample. Let's do names.c. Sounds good to me. Okay, so he has region encoding. This looks complicated. So we have uchar star, which is a pattern. So it looks like I may have to convert to a Unicode character thing, but I really don't know if that matters too much. If I can just say use ASCII. Okay, and then we just use the search. Well, that seems pretty easy. What is, okay, so we have region. So he news up a new region, string, end. Okay, so we'll use this kind of as our base and we'll just see what we get. But it looks like we should be fine using strings. I wonder if we can use Unicode string. Or can we do like std string Unicode? No. Not to regex t. Why do I need regexes, by the way? Because that is how the TextMate grammars are defined. So this is the grammars that we're going based off of. They have these regexes. They're not stereotypical regexes, which is why I can't just use C++ standard library. If we actually look on VS Code, they tell us it's using these kinds of regular expressions. And it's important that we use the same one because I want the behavior to be correct. So if you end up using an extension from Visual Studio Code, I would like it to actually highlight things correctly. So I'm not going to roll my own or something. I'm just going to use the library that they say they're using, and we should get the same behavior. So that's the purpose. So we've got these. And now we need to figure out, and I'm not actually using this one anymore, so we can get rid of that. Import grammar from string. Let's get rid of you. And that was listed as static, and it shouldn't. Oh, wait, yeah, it should have been listed as static. Okay, cool. Is that defined correctly? It is, okay. So now that we have this, we basically need like some sort of output format. Why does Twitch monetize your stream? Ads show up. I can't turn that off. I've tried. Because I don't get that much money from Twitch at all. I think I've gotten paid once in the entire time I've been streaming the past 8 months. So it's not a lot, and I don't care about it, and they don't give me any way to turn the ads off, which is very annoying. But yeah, so I don't know. But what do we need to do now? So we can import our grammar. That's great. We've got a grammar. Now what we want to do is we basically want to parse that grammar. Well, no, we've parsed the grammar. We have it in kind of a format that we can use. What we need now is we need, if we go into parsers, a way to take a code block and say, given this grammar, return syntax styling, right? So we're going to go ahead and create like a new thing here. This is going to be our syntax highlighter. Syntax highlighter. .h, which I completely, oh cool, it added it, good. So we're going to say if not define syntax highlighter h. And the reason we're doing it this way is because, of course, for syntax highlighter, you don't just need the grammar, you also need a theme, and that's going to be the second part of this. We have a theme here. The theme is going to be much easier. We literally just have these scopes, and so all we have to do is resolve the scopes according to whichever match hits and find the most specific scope we can, and then we can just use that color. So it even has like italics and stuff. Maybe we will worry about that. I don't know. Stuff that I can use in the future, right? But for now, all we need is the colors, which is what I'm really interested in. Couldn't see that apparently. But yeah, and this is a pretty simple format, and we also don't care about this stuff. I might pull out like the background for the editor. Do they have like code background? Yeah, editor, white space foreground. Yeah, so this will be important to get like the color of the text, and then editor. I'm guessing they have like editor background. Yeah, so we'll probably want to grab those two just to get like the correct colors overall. But other than that, should be fine. So we're gonna have now is we're gonna have a struct syntax highlighter. And do I think I'm actually gonna make this a class because it's a little bit more complicated than just some plain old data. And I kind of want to keep it that way. So we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna have, you know what, we can just do include core.h. So what we're gonna do is the way this will work is we're gonna have a constructor which takes in const char star. We'll just do this. We'll have a path. This is the, what is this? This is the grammar. And then we will also have a path to the theme. Actually, no, we don't care about the theme. We just care about the grammar. And so what we're gonna do, I missed a T. I tend to do that, which is weird. The typos I make are consistent. Very interesting. Because what we'll want to do is we'll basically want to say, give it some theme, right? We'll probably have like a struct syntax theme. And then we'll have like some metadata, which returns, and we'll have like a parse using this syntax theme. Right? Okay, so this will return like the text. Oh, and we also need a string in here, of course, too. Code with that theme. And so basically you'll hand it some code with a theme, and then it'll return some metadata, which basically tells you, hey, at this index in this substring or this string view, whatever, something or other, color it this way, color it that way, all that stuff, and then more. So yeah, we're going to create this structure real quickly, and then we'll kind of go ahead and implement it in a second. And Vox riffs. And OneNote is officially worst program ever created. Agreed. Agreed. It worked great until like 2018, and then it just, they did something that made it horrible. And I tried going back because I wanted the old one, and it just doesn't work. Just crash taking all my notes with it. Yeah. Use Bamboo. This is what I've switched to, and it's actually pretty good. Making ideas. It's not, you don't have all the same features and stuff, but it works good enough. So, you know, you got all the stuff and everything. It's pretty good. I've been using that as a replacement, and I've had no problems. Yeah, Bamboo Paper is what it's called, and I think you have to get it on the Windows App Store, which is kind of weird, but yeah. And CGO Clan, I was running on an experiment, track all my keys. Yes. I noticed I make specific mistakes for words every single time. Yeah, my most clicked area with the mouse is the position of Chrome in the taskbar. Nice. Okay, so let's do, what are we going to call the result? Syntax result? No. Highlighted code. Code highlights. Yeah, we'll call it that. Okay, so we're going to have this. What is this going to consist of? Well, we're going to have like a vector of code highlight. I don't know. Highlight position. Maybe we'll just call it a highlight. Okay, we'll have a vector of highlights, which are the highlights. Okay, and that's going to look like size t, start pose, size t, end pose. Because it's important, we do want to keep the string intact. Code block. We want to keep that string intact. We don't want to break it, because we need to position the text as well. So this is kind of like This isn't going to worry about that, but we do have to worry about it. So we'll also have a vec4, which is the color. And I think that's all we need. Color, start pose, end pose. For now, we may add stuff to it later, and we have that option if we so choose, which is good. Actually, let's go ahead. We're going to say struct grammar. Grammar star grammar. Okay, so we're going to have this. And actually, I don't even want to worry about this myself. So I'm just going to say stood unique pointer to a grammar. But I don't think that's going to work unless we actually... No, it is going to work. We might get a compile error here because I don't know if it's going to work since this is an opaque type. We'll see. We will see. Voxrips. I worked with Milton for a while, but it has infinite canvas, which doesn't exactly work well with note-taking. I actually like infinite canvas, but Bamboo has a finite canvas size, but you can switch pages and stuff. And Bamboo paper is made by I don't know how to say that company. Wacom. I have their tablet, but I don't know how to say it either. It should definitely work nice with my drawing thingy then. Sweet. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to take a very quick break. Once we come back, we're going to go ahead and implement this, which should use the grammar specified by this file. It'll store a copy of it, and it'll parse it. If this doesn't work, by the way, we're just going to have to manage the memory on our own. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, we are back. And we're going to go ahead and implement this. Should be pretty easy. Huh, just kidding. Never say that. I've learned over the years to stop saying, oh, looks simple enough. And I should especially be aware of that since I've been working on this simple animation editor replacement for over 6 months now. So, yeah, things are never simple. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and implement this. That doesn't take the fun out of it, by the way, too. I prefer the complex things. I think they're more fun. So it's all good. Let me check chat real quick, too. By the way, if you have no idea how many keys get pressed on average, 23,000. Nice. It's light mode only. Is Twitch light mode only? Oh, the bamboo paper. Yeah, that is light mode only, unfortunately. Okay, so let's go ahead, add the constructor. Okay, and then we're also going to go ahead and say include /grammar and common, because I'll probably need all three. And I keep misspelling highlighter. Okay, so we can say this grammar equals stood make unique grammar. I think I just do new grammar. Or no, I think I would do yeah, new grammar. Except I'm just gonna change this up slightly. So, oh dude, and I spelled this wrong too. Oh man, what's wrong with me? Okay, let's fix this. I try not to have typos in my code because it really annoys me, but you know, sometimes it happens. Okay, that's better. Let's go to grammar very quickly. This is actually going to return a star instead of an object, and then we're also going to have static void free. Actually, yeah, free. Grammar star grammar. Okay, and we'll just add that. Okay, and that will just say free grammar. Which if I do this, it's probably not the best. Okay, we're not going to store this as the way I had it stored before. I'm going to fix that. Anyways, though, let's do this. This is going to be that. Let's go ahead and change this to be star. We're going to do star equals grammar star. And then we're going to go ahead and say allocate. And since this is placement new thing, we're also going to have to do this because we have some complex objects in here. So we want to make sure those get constructed properly. Okay, so we do that. Change these two pointers. If I can type. And that should be good. Cool. And then when we free it, I'll just have to call the destructor manually too. So we'll just do this. Just to make sure that we call the destructors there too. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go back into here. This is actually going to be grammar star, right? And then I'm just going to have a void free to keep that stuff good. Okay, we'll go here. And then we can just say import grammar. Well, from there. And then here we'll just say, yeah, grammar free that Doesn't like this for some reason because I misspelled it again. Man, this is getting embarrassing. I have misspelled highlighter so many times. Okay, so we've got that all set up. Let's add one more safety thing, which is here. If not platform file exists, file path, return null pointer, glogger warning, tried to parse grammar at file path that does not exist. And then we'll print that file path just so that we know. And let's go up here, include platform. We're good there. We've got this. Okay, cool. So now we've got all this stuff kind of set up. Let's go parse some stuff. So syntax highlighter. All right. I misspelled again. I think I'm just gonna give up. I don't know. Okay, so we've got this. First of all, if not this grammar, we'll just return early. So we obviously did not succeed in parsing it and stuff. One other thing we're gonna need is one of these regex guys. Let's see, he had an example. Yes, so we're gonna need this somewhere in here. Oh, that's what you were saying, regxt. I didn't even notice that. Somebody said that a while ago. Thank you for pointing that out. Does he actually use that regex? He does. Okay, so we do need to change these to regxts. How does this get initialized? Reg. Oh, so he does new, but that gets stored into R, which is, what is R? Oh, it's just a, okay. Interesting. So it looks like we have these regxts, which we're gonna wanna store. So let's go into here and actually change some stuff up very quickly. So struct regex t. It's got to be a struct if it's in C. And let's go ahead. We're gonna change these to regex t star, and these guys as well. I think that's it. Yes. Okay, so that means when we free it, we're also gonna have to free those. So for size t, well, we should actually say if grammar 2 would help. And then for size t, I equals 0 until I is less than grammar. Patterns.size I plus plus. Grammar patterns I.free. And we're going to go ahead and just add that as well to the syntax pattern. Save void free. Thank you for following Kanor23. Good to see you. So we're going to need a free for that as well. Free here and free here. I think that should be it. The rest of the stuff don't need to get freed. So let's do simple syntax pattern first. We'll go ahead, and actually these should be up here, right below capture list. Simple syntax pattern. Okay, if regex, what do we call it? If match exists. Do we have like free? We do. Okay, and he has this typed now. Is this different? Match. Yeah, this is different. Okay, what is this now? Pattern buffer. Huh, interesting. Let's take a look at that example again. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so we've got this regex t star. Is that typedef somewhere? No? What is pattern? Pattern is a UChar. Yeah, he's just using this regex t, which is, and then he uses free on that, and it works. Interesting. Interesting. But it does not work here. I wonder if that's an out-of-date sample or something. Let's try syntax, maybe. Nope, regex t. And then free. Are all of his examples out of date or something? I think I'm probably missing something here. Oh, wait, no, it's just because I'm in. Wait, no, never mind. So I am including it in core, so we should have this. It should exist. If I click here, yeah, it takes me to here. Which this is that. Well, yeah, okay, so this is type deft to this. So regex t star should be this, which should be the same thing, right? That's what I would imagine. Okay, yeah. So I think what it was is because I defined it as a struct. I think that's what was messing this up. Okay, now it's working. Okay, that scared me for a second. I was like, what's going on here? Essie Woods, are we still on schedule for the new video? Hopefully, definitely too early to tell. The plan is to start working on a video next week, though, so we'll see. Okay, let me see if we have to free anything else, too, because it looks like... I'm wondering what the best way to do this is. So we have a region, which we use here. I'm wondering if we just pass that through, possibly. Because the region eventually gets freed too, right? So we do region new. And then once everything is done, it frees the region. Yeah, but I don't want to have a region for each regex because I don't think that's necessary, and it definitely doesn't feel like we should do that. So we'll take a look at that again in a second. Anyways, for now, let's keep going with this. So we've got that one for complex syntax pattern. And then we also want to say match equals null pointer. And this will be complex syntax pattern if begin match. It's called something else. Begin. Okay. If end. Okay, we got all that. And then we got a pattern array. So this one should be easy too. For auto pattern in pattern array. No, we can't say pattern.free. Actually, I think we can. What do we? Just patterns, okay. Yeah, we can just say that. Cool. So we've got that. And then syntax pattern. And so this one will just do this. And say if type equals pattern type simple, simple pattern free. If simple pattern dot has value, which it should, but just in case it doesn't for whatever reason. Else if type, and let's just do this, switch type. Okay, case that guy. Break. Type complex. We'll do that. Complex pattern has value. Looks like I need an extra brace here as well. Okay, break. Case pattern type include do nothing. Invalid, do nothing. Array, do something. We'll say if array pattern or pattern array has value. Break out here. And this needs to be pointer syntax. Okay, cool. And I think that's it. I'll get a warning if I missed a case in there. So, or an error actually, but yeah. My strand, do you parse grammar or just match with regex? It is a grammar, yes. So this is the grammar that we're targeting right now. Looks like this. It's based off TextMate grammars, and doing that so that we can use VS Code extensions and then use VS Code themes, and it should all just work out. That's the plan. We'll see if it works. And this uses a pattern library called Onigorama. I have no idea how to say it. I'm not going to try and pronounce it again. So we're using that as our regexes. And speaking of which, we need to fix these guys now. So we need, so we need to give it a file path. We also need to give it a region. What do you call it? It's like that. Yes. So we're also going to give it a region so that we can parse these appropriately. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Correct? Correct, I think. So we have a region. He uses that region throughout when he creates the regexes somewhere. Let's see. Let's go back to a simpler one. Simple.c. I like this. Okay. So yeah, we use the region. He has the pattern, which is just this. And then the regex, which is R, no, which is reg, equals this pattern. Okay, yeah. So then he has the pattern that he passes to it, which we have. The options, syntax, and info. What is e-info? Error info. Okay, so we can just kind of, that's fine. We can stack initialize that. Does he have a region in here, though? He does have a region here. What is use ENCS? Encoding. Using codings. Okay, so he's saying using coding ASCII. But it doesn't look like... Whoops. Is that getting used? So then he creates a new region after he creates the regex. And he only uses it when he's searching. Okay, so maybe we don't actually need to pass that region through. It's only for searching. That's good. Okay. Cool. So let's copy this. And we're actually going to go ahead and kind of create some sort of function wrapper to make that a little bit easier. So inside of grammar.cpp, let's go up here. We're going to say static regex t star from string. And then I'm also going to give it the pattern type because I think, I don't know, maybe we need that, maybe we don't. We'll see. scroll down, go down to here, and then we're going to say static okay, copy that. And we're going to say regex t star reg equals, oh, nothing. We just leave that there. Int r, which is the errors. I'm going to rename that in just a second. Or I guess that's the result. I don't know. We do need this guy. Error. We'll go grab that. Grab that. Parse res. Just make it a bit more clear what's going on, and I'm going to go ahead and also do this. Okay. Don't know. You guys might like that, might not. I don't care. That's just the way I like to do things. So we're going to do that. No, this is our parse result. Okay. Not parser, but just parse. So we got that. And then what we're going to say is instead of this glogger error, error, it's a U. I have to get that in my head. It's a U. It's not an A. And then this is going to be S. Okay. And we're going to return a null pointer here if it fails. Otherwise, we can return reg. And now we just got to add that. And my strand, context free, or can you do fancy stuff like identify types in C++ code? I think it's just going to be context free. So that's VS Code uses semantic analysis for that stuff, which I'm not going to be doing. Yeah, so they have semantic highlight gates, but it does, I mean, it identifies things to an extent. It's just, it's not going to be as fancy as like actually determining whether something's a class or not. So maybe one day in the far, far future, but for now, definitely not. So you can see stuff like these regexes are capable of doing a little bit more complicated stuff, but nothing too fancy. Entity names, yeah. So we have like callable names, template names, scope, label, and standalone. So there's no like classes or anything that it can identify, unfortunately. But Savanch, dumb question. No dumb questions. This is for Luau. Doesn't VS Code already have Lua syntax highlighting? No, this is not for Luau. So basically, I want to be able to create animations with code blocks, and those code blocks I want to be colored automatically. And so this is going to be used to aid in that process. And then you can like have code in your video too. Because that was one of the things I always wanted from Manim, but it just didn't support, which was annoying. So let's see. Let's just do this. This is very quickly pattern end. So we want to say like string.begin. I guess let's do this. We'll say const char star pattern. Pattern end equals that. Okay. And then we can say pattern end, and I might have to do something here. And my strand, okay, but no rules to add specific symbols to certain highlight class or anything like that. No rules to add specific symbols to a certain highlight class or anything like that. There is rules for that. I might be misunderstanding you, but basically you can say like, okay, this capture for callable name gets scoped to this, and then it's going to go ahead and like find the closest match in the theme to scope it with. So we are doing that, but I might be misunderstanding your question. Okay, so he's expecting uchar, which let's just take a look. Uchar is a uchar. What is the uchar though? Oh, unsigned char. Oh, okay, so we can just cast it to uint8 and that should be fine. So yeah, and that should be fine. We're not changing the bits or anything. I don't No, we might have to like change the encoding or something, but since I'm only targeting ASCII for now, it doesn't really matter too much. What is, oh, that's helpful. And then let's go from string, find the other guy. Okay, I did have that right. Cool, let's go fix the errors very quickly now. So now this, we can just say that, and it should just work. It should just work. Famous last words. Okay, so we got that. We've got this. So now we have all of our regexes being parsed appropriately. Hopefully. Oh, and I forgot too. We should probably change some settings here. Wait a second. Yeah, okay, so we have option default. What are our options? We have default digit as ASCII, don't capture group. Okay, we do want to capture the groups, so I think default's probably good. Oh, we can do single line. Okay, cool. So this will be important, actually. So this is why I wanted to pass in the type. So for simple patterns, actually for all of these, I think for all of these, we do just want a single line pattern. So we can have multi-line matches. No, yeah, we can have multi-line matches. That is true. Let's see. So if you have a begin and an end, this is the theme. I want this, yes. Yeah, so if we have begin and end characters like that, basically this means that if you have something like that, it can span multiple lines. And then I'm supposed to match these things, whatever's in between here, which could also span multiple lines. So I think we're going to go ahead and pass through pattern type. And then we're going to say options equals type simple, or I guess we'll just say like complex. We're going to do multi-line. Oh, and I guess I should probably figure out like what exactly we need to set in addition to this, because we might have to do multiple things. Option D single. Like, are these bitwise ordered together? We're gonna go, yeah, it looks like they are. Okay, so let's go take a look at what this is. So we have no options. We have ignore case, extend, multi-line, single line, find longest, find not empty, negate, single line, don't capture group, capture group. We do want this. Wait, but these are all shift left one. Oh, he's using the last one and shifting that left one. Okay, that's fine. We do want to capture groups. So we'll do that. Not bool, not EOL. What does that mean? I don't know. Check validity of string. I don't care about that. Nor is ASCII. Option word is ASCII. Oh, cool. And we can even use not begin, not end string. But I don't think that really matters. Okay. Not begin position. Call back each match. Match whole string. I think we'll want to do this as well. Possibly. I wonder what the default is too. Oh, default is none. So yeah, we definitely want to do like these things. Whoops. Okay, so we'll try this for now. We might change it, but for now, this works. Okay. And then we'll kind of go from there. So we've got this. We've got this. We've got a grammar. Now we just need to resolve things and actually find out where the matches are and all that stuff. So that'll be good. Yeah, this is going to be the hard part now. Real hi, bye, hello. Hi, of course I slept in more than normal, missed an hour and a half to stream. All good. in my strand. One thing that's hard to do with most simple highlighting engines is mixed language highlighting. Like if you had CSS, JavaScript, and GLSL embedded in an HTML document and you like all of them highlighted correctly. Yes, that is true. And that's also another reason we have these begin end capture things. They actually give an example of that too, I think in here. Somewhere down here. Yeah, so you can have like begin end so that you can do things like this. Like this is, for example, something you'd find in Django or PHP too, or stuff like that. But I think this is Django because it has def and end. So this matches like Python between these two braces, which is interesting. So you can kind of do more complex stuff like that with the way they have their grammar defined, which is cool. Of course, the grammar you get has to support that. Otherwise, it won't work, but yeah. Okay, so what do I want to do is I want to say, let's get some parser info. And I don't really even need this. I thought I was going to need that, but it's probably not necessary. Basically, what I want is I want a way to get the next string of my line or my code. So we have the code block here. I want to get the next line, iterate it through it line by line, and then run the matches against it, see which ones we match, and then take it from there. So yeah, and then we'll use that scoped name to eventually theme it and everything, but yeah. So first step, iterate line by line. Can we do that easily? Let's just look it up real quick. C++. I don't really care about that. We're just going to do it the simplest way. So size t I or line start equals 0 until line start is less than code dot length plus plus. We might actually not do this too. So maybe not. I don't know. We'll do it this way for now. Size t line length equals 0, and then we'll say 4 equals line start until line end. Okay, and then we'll say line length plus plus. If code line end equals /n, break. Now, do we want to include this? I think we do. And then after everything's done, we'll say line start plus equals line end, or line length. And this should iterate the whole thing because this goes through here. So even if there is no /n, like we're on the last line and it has a /0 or something, we should handle that case too. Okay, so then we can say we have our line start and we have our line length, and we want to use that. We want to use our grammar. And we basically want to get the next match, I guess. I guess that's probably the best way to say this. Get next match. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do this. So we'll do this. We'll pass it line start, line end, and the code. And I guess it makes a little bit more sense to have the code first. So kind of like a begin and an end. Let's start with that. Oh, and I guess instead of line start, we'll do line length. Let's start with that. So let's go back into our grammar. And we're gonna have to return something. So I had this, but we probably want to I guess we'll just have a structure in here too to represent position. Match. Size T start. Size T end. Scoped name. Yeah, I think this is probably how we're going to do it. So we're going to have start end and a scoped name. And then we're going to have a match. Get next match. This is kind of important too. So actually, let's do this. So we're going to have size T, start, T end, or I guess length. And we said the string would be first. So we'll have the code, the start, the end, and const match previous. We're actually going to do a star there, and that can be null pointer. Okay. The reason for that is so that we can use the ending of this match to pick up from where we left off of. So you like call get next match. Initially, this is null. Continue, and it fills out. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's how we want to do it. Actually, instead of doing this, we'll make this a little bit better. So we'll just say take in a match star match. And then if you pass the same match, it should continue to get the next match if you call this multiple times. I think that's how we're going to do this. We'll see. Maestran, old school header guards, hash pragma once, not standard enough. Sorry. No, you're fine. And they actually aren't. I had a friend test compile some of my code, and he was on Linux. I don't know exactly which compiler he was using or what version, but he was like, oh man, he's like, it's giving me warnings about this stuff. I was like, oh, I'll switch it to the header guards. You know, it's simple enough. It doesn't take any time, and it reduces warnings in other people's compilers. So yeah. I believe pragma once is indeed faster. Well, so they actually detect this stuff too now in modern compilers. If they see this, they know it's a header guard, and so there's no difference. I don't think it goes any faster or slower. But it's technically not standard. Yeah, that's exactly the reason. And so certain compilers will issue warnings and stuff, and better to not have the warnings there, in my opinion. And it's simple enough. It's not bad, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, let's go get next match, which is going to be above import grammar. Right there. Okay, so this is kind of going to be how we start this, I guess. And Sopap, hi. First time watching your stream. Well, thank you for coming. Good to see you. We're parsing syntax. We're doing a syntax highlighter is what the goal is. We'll see if it works. Okay, so we're going to have like a match. And I guess I should call this, since this is kind of shared, this is going to be like a grammar match. Instead of having it generic like that, we'll just change that. Okay, and then if we go back into here, we have a grammar match. This is our match, and we'll pass it through here. And actually, we're going to want to do this. Actually, yeah. We'll have this right here. And then we'll say while match dot end does not equal line start plus line length. I think this is the API I want. So while the match's end does not equal this, we'll keep getting the next match. Actually, let's change that just slightly more because I really don't like that. Bool success. Okay, that's a little bit better. Or actually, you know what? This is even easier. We'll just have this return a bool. That should be simple enough. Okay, so go back into here. Instead of doing this, we can say while that. Okay, so while get next match. And this should work, right? So we get the first match, successful. We loop, get the second match, successful. Loop, Yeah, that should be fine. I was just making sure this needed to be while, not do while. So, yeah. Vox riffs. So it's VS Code extension or something? What is? The Pragma once is just, it's just non-standard. But it's not Visual Studio specific or anything. And MyStrand, I prefer Pragma once mostly because it matches by actual file name, not preprocessor symbol. So if you accidentally include, say, 2 versions of the same thing, more likely to get a compiler error. No, I meant the syntax highlighter. Syntax highlighter is going based off the same thing as C+ or VS Code. But yeah, this grammar specifically is the VS Code, but that's based on TextMate. So technically it's TextMate, but you can find more info here. I will post that here. And MyStrand, yes, that is true. In practice, I've never had a problem with it, especially if you're just, so I do it my library name, followed by name of the file, followed by _h. I've never had a conflict. And usually if you're naming files the same thing, it's probably not the best thing anyways, because it's, I don't know, maybe it is, but yeah, I don't like that. So it helps me reduce that too, I guess. So, but there are reasons. I'm not saying it's bad to do either way. It doesn't matter. It's just a preference, I guess, now. Okay, get next match. So while we get the next match, we're going to say this has a start and an end. And it has a scoped name. Okay, so once we get a scoped name, we'll want to actually use that scoped name to find which theme goes with it, which color. But for now, what we're going to say is just match for, and then we'll post the code there, and then we're going to say %s, which is the scoped name. So this will be code.substring C string, and then scoped name. I guess we'll say match.name. We'll do that. Right now the scoped name is split, but we can add the actual thing to it. Shouldn't be hard. So go into here. Scoped name right now is just a vector of strings, which are the scopes going from deepest to earliest. Friendly name. And then if I just go to scoped name from, we can go ahead and say res.friendly name equals string. Actually, and if we do that, we don't even have to do the string stuff here. We can just say friendly name. Okay. Why is this not happy? Call it without an appropriate operator. Did I do something weird? Oh. No, that's fine. It should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, something isn't happy. So code.substring. Oh, do I have to do string? No. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's not happy about here. Oh, it's not happy about that. Friendly name is a string. Oh, that's why. Okay. Anyways, so we've got that. Now we just need to implement this get next match. Let's see if we can do that. And then if we can keep going with this and see where we end up. So get next match. How is this going to work? I don't know. We should probably look up how it actually matches. But from what I saw, it doesn't give much there. In MyStrand, just chatting for the purpose of chatting, really. No problem. Most interesting thing to me is the tiny difference in style when people write code. Yeah, especially C++. It's not a tiny difference. Usually with C++, you have a very wide variety of different ways that people write C++. So what I'm looking for is how exactly they do their matches. Because I'm wondering, do they like match from top to bottom? Like the way this works is we have a list of patterns. So they just go, okay, try to match comments. If I find a comment, that's the match. Then keywords, then number literals. I know this is how like flex and yak, which are some language parsers, work, but I'm not quite sure about this one. So let's see if they give any kind of indication here. They do have like right here. So begin, end, these keys allow matches which span several lines. Yep, content name. And SOAP made similar timeline to yours. Nice, in QML Qt, but it's buggy. I'll share with you. Cool, that sounds good. And Maestro, a couple of years ago, I banned the keyword class from my personal C++ style to confuse people, really. I went through a phase where I was like, no classes ever too, but I've kind of come around. I think it's okay to have a mixture of classes and not classes. I still try to keep everything super simple and opaque, but for things like this, it's doing a little bit more. I think it's okay to have a class there. But I approve. I also did something similar, so. I wish they gave like, so they have scope selectors. Let's see what the table of contents says. So what were we? We were in language grammars. Okay, which is right here. So we have example, grammar, language rules, rule keys, naming conventions. Okay, so then it goes to scope selectors. Okay, we have regular expressions. Yeah, this is probably where we want to go. So this is talking about the regexes. Okay, filtering which file should be shown in folder references. Find folding markers. Language grammars are basically a tree with cycles that have regular expressions in each node. Snippets allow regular expression replacements to be applied to variables and in real-time mirrored placeholders. Okay, this is the syntax. That's fine. When you perform regular expression replace, the replace string is interpreted as a format string which can reference captures. Okay, so this is talking about how you do capture reference. Okay. But they don't have anything about how it actually calls it. Just double check one more time. Yeah, how does it actually apply the patterns though? That's what I want to know. Does it just go down and try and match and the first match it gets is the one it takes? Would be good to know. Oh, ranking matches. Here we go. If more than one scope selector matches the current scope, then they are ranked to how good a match they each are. Okay, well, this is just the... Okay, so do they just match everything? They just list all the matches for whatever the string is and then go from there? And then use the best match that they found? I wonder if this is what they're doing. For themes and preference items, the winner is undefined when multiple items use the same scope selector. Interesting. We're going to do it just loop through the matches or the patterns and then take whichever one is the first one we hit. We'll try that and see how it goes. My strand, I do OOP in templates. I just don't use the keyword class for either. Okay. Define not class. Struct and type may work just as well. That's true. But I think it's good to let the language actually define your intentions. So I use class for complex objects, struct for simple opaque objects, but or not opaque, transparent objects. SOAP app, YouTube link for a demo. I'll have to check it out later. You might want to put it in the Discord so I can remember to check it out, and you can at me. That's fine. Voxers, I still don't get where this syntax highlighter is going to be used. Well, here, we'll run this real quick, and I'll talk about it a little bit more again while I'm still thinking. Am I going for TextMate compatibility or just looking for inspiration? Both. And I think it's going to be a script editor in the program. Well, not a script editor. It's going to be used if you want to insert a code block in your videos. So, for example, if we go to I don't know. If we go here and I search myself, which I don't do often. Okay, and then if we go into here, there are different parts in my videos where I like having this type of stuff, right? Where I basically paste in the code block and I go through the load function like this, and I highlight different portions of it. Yeah, like this. I would rather not have to have this all done in post. It's annoying to do and it just doesn't work well. I'd rather have this actually get parsed out as text into my editor that I can do the animations with, and then I can also select certain groups of objects and stuff like this. So that's the plan. We'll see if it works. This is still compiling. Code block and video, that's cool. Yes. And Voxer is right. The thing that one LaTeX package adds. I didn't know there's a package that adds that. Huh. The Manum code block is quite clunky. Oh, I didn't even know Manum had a code block too. I might have tried to use it and just given up on it, but yeah. Sorry, my nose is running a bit because it's very cold out now. Man, I don't know why this is taking so long to compile today. Adding that one library, I guess. It is so cold, yeah. It's probably colder by you than it is by me. I don't know. It's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit here, so it's not that bad. But we have a low of 7 degrees Fahrenheit, so it could get colder tonight and ice everything over, which won't be good. Just C++ being C++. Almost there? Okay, almost there. Must return a value. What is code highlights again? It's just that. Yeah, we'll just return nothing. That's fine. Declared but not defined. It should be defined. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, F3. Grab that. This is a simple pattern. Okay, and then this is so if we have complex patterns too, that's gonna kind of throw things for a loop. So actually, I'm gonna move this a little bit. We're gonna do it like this instead. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. And then size T. And size T match N equals match.end. The reason I'm doing this is because it's actually going to make more sense to let the library handle multi-line stuff. It's just going to work better, since it needs to know like complex patterns can match multiple lines and all that stuff. So we'll need to kind of handle that ourselves. So we'll go ahead and take all that out and then go back into here, and we will go and take this out of here, and we'll go back into here. And who knows, maybe we can make it even simpler too, doing this. Get next match. Okay. So let's actually take this stuff out too. This does nothing right now. So return false. Okay, so let's try and compile this again very quickly. Well, some of the snow melted anyway. That's good. And former Canuck. It's -8 Fahrenheit here with wind chill feels like -35. That is very cold. I grew up in Florida where it was like the coldest we got was 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah. And looking at weather, I'm at -2 Fahrenheit and -23 wind chill. Man, you guys live in cold places. Okay, so we've got this grammar. No constructor exists from, oh, well, that's easy enough. So we'll do that, grammar free. Let's also just add parsers / syntax highlighter. And we'll say highlighter h equals syntax highlighter test. Or actually, I guess test grammar file. Oh yeah, I don't even need to do this because this is embedded within the highlighter. So we can just do that and then h free. Okay. And then h dot parse. Oh, I guess we need to give it some example code too. Example code. Theme is going to be null pointer because it doesn't matter anyways. And we're just going to cast it because it really doesn't matter. Can I not do that? I probably can't. No. Okay. Fine. We're going to do this. Syntax theme. Do we not have incomplete type is not allowed? Where's that coming from? Oh, it's coming from something that never existed. Okay. Let's just go ahead and add that very quickly too then. If not define. And then we'll go here. And just do that for now. And this will just take in include that should be good. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. Cool, let's try this again. And painful seeing so many compiler warnings not turned into errors. I've gone through, so I was compiling on like warning level 1 for a while and didn't realize it. So I recently upgraded to W4 and I've got to go ahead and fix the rest of them. I fixed most of them, just not all. So const ** example code equals raw at that, no. There we go. And we're just going to say example. Okay. That's good. Syntax theme, it's still not happy about that, is it? It's not an incomplete type, though. Is it? Syntax theme. Oh, Oh, I guess I need both. Okay, there we go. So we've got all that. Example code, void main. Let's just bring this out to here. Printf return 0. We'll start simple. And we'll slowly increase the complexity to see how it works. Okay, let's see if we can compile now. And this is all just to show what the editor is and stuff, to kind of talk about what I was talking about earlier. So it really doesn't matter too much, but okay. So it's not linking properly. Error code to string referenced and not found. Let's see. If we go into here. Okay. So we've got that. Oh, it's because, wait, no. Okay, wait. Let's jump into where that is coming from. So this is defined in here, right? Yeah, this is defined in here. And I have it listed here. So interesting that it's not finding it. Is it not linking the library? Is what I'm wondering. Maybe I spelled it wrong in here and that's what's wrong. So that's a capital O. And we're going to change the spelling so that that's correct. This is going to trigger a whole recompile again, so that's going to be fun. Where is it? It was spelled correctly before, though, so that's interesting. Let's see if we have our file, if it actually worked. Oh, wait, actually, it's going to go into here. Okay, so we do have a .lib file here, which is interesting. And everything is statically linked, so it is interesting that we don't have an executable here, though. Now I'm wondering where the heck my executable is, because it did compile before. Let's try and rebuild this, see what happens. Try this again. Wait for it to compile. Oh, no, okay, that was quick at least. So it's still not happy. And Voxriffs, man, those errors look absolutely horrendous. Yeah, that's true. Why would you have mangled names and errors? It just doesn't make any sense. C++ error message are the most clear error message any language can ever have. Yeah, they're very clear, but they're too clear. So what's happening here, though? It's using this undefined symbol. Where is that coming from? So if we go into here, let's see if we find this. It's defined in here. And it uses, I don't care about that. something in here that it's not happy about. Wait a second. Wait, go back to the errors. Where? Visual Studio. I don't want to look at that. It says this is referenced in function. Yeah, I don't see this though. Oh wait, nothing is being found here. Okay, wait. So it's saying new is not, it's not found, free is not found. Why are you not finding these things? It looks like you're building the library correctly. Did I set something up wrong? So linking it here should automatically link it. I don't get why it's not happy. Let's see how we build DRIM GUI. So we build it as a static library, do all that stuff. Define certain things. Yeah, so that's all fine. So this, I would assume this would work too. I wonder what's going to happen. So let's go very quickly. Not in there. If I go ahead and just delete that first of all. Copy that into here. Nope, still not happy. Which also makes sense because if it's statically linked, you can't do that. I don't think you can. Why is it doing this? Not sure. You're not compiling the library fully, maybe? That's what I was wondering too. I sense Clang tries to make them more clear, actually tends to make things worse. Linker errors are the worst to fix. I agree. I know what's happening though. It's not linking the library, obviously, because it's saying it can't find these, but they do exist. Why is it not linking them though? That's the question. This is why I usually try to do this stuff before I stream, because libraries are annoying. I don't know where it's getting that from too, because there is nothing in there that's called what it's looking for. Like it's looking for imp this. Wait a second. Is it because I'm missing? Oh, you know what it is. I bet you. I bet. Let's go back into here. I have this define here. I wonder if we also have to define it in our project to get the appropriate linking. That's probably what's happening here. So let's go to where we have some defines. Okay, we have that. And we have that. Let's try this. Okay. Because I'm guessing when we include it, it's using that somewhere, which is changing the function definition. And so that's probably changing the way. So I'm linking to a different function that's the appropriate function, but then when I include it in my project, it doesn't have that definition. And so it messes things up. I'm assuming. We'll see. Real by hello. Currently working with multiple definition errors with header guards. My strand. My favorite linker error is the type that's magically fixed when you do a clean rebuild because you ran out of other options. Yeah, I haven't had one of those in a while, thankfully. Now we just gotta wait for this whole thing to compile again. This is the worst part. It's like when you have to fix this stuff, you just sit here and wait because most of the time it triggers complete recompile. When it compiles slowly after fixing an error, it means it will work. I think that's just because the size of this project has gotten too big. The only thing worse really is the mysterious binary that segfaults with completely nonsense debug info and then magically starts working when you do a clean rebuild. It's probably not really working the second time either though. That's the scary part. you think you fixed it, but it's actually still broken, and it's only worse now because you don't know where it's gonna show up again. Sometimes, I don't know though, because sometimes when you fully rebuild it, it does recompile things that might not have gotten touched. And so it might have been using an old binary, and yeah, all sorts of weird stuff go on. Almost there. Almost. Closer. Almost. Eventually we'll get there. Yeah, you can see where I stopped fixing the warnings because they start getting a lot more present in the second half of the compilation. There's only so long I can go through and do this whole recompile process before I'm like, okay, I'll fix this later, and I'll finish fixing the rest of them. Sometimes dependency tracking goes wrong, but it happens to link anyways. Yeah, that's true too. Okay, that's great. So this command line, invalid macro definition. That's also not good. I wish you would have told me that like before I recompiled the whole stupid thing. Let's see. So we go into here, preprocessor, edit. That's actually what we want. If that's it, do we have the same thing here? We do. That -D is because he was using it as a compiler flag. Okay, let's rebuild this. Let's see if this fixes it, and then I'll fix the pre-make project too. Let's see if we can build this. Yeah, it's gonna recompile the whole thing again. Okay. Well, let's change this in here at least while we're waiting. Because hopefully that'll fix it, but I have no idea. Man, that is by far the worst situation. I agree. Why is this still not happy too? Invalid macro definition. Why is that invalid? We should cancel the build, but I can't do that now because it's just going to keep going. Is it because I'm missing an equals there? Is it happy now? Nope. Okay, it still hasn't updated. Let's see. I might have to fix this in here too, because this is probably still wrong. No, I can't rebuild this either. Okay, we gotta wait for this to finish again. Can I cancel it? No, I can clear all, but I can't cancel the build in process. I've tried before. Once it starts. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, you can cancel a build in progress. Well, that's good. Okay, this still isn't happy. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say, screw it. We're not going to use it the way Visual Studio wants us to use it since they don't want to work with that. I'm going to say apply, and then we're going to go to command line and just add it ourselves. Apply, okay, rebuild. Did it work? That's the question. I don't know. Let's try it in here too. We'll do that. And then we'll go into here. Take it out of there. Okay, now it's happy. Well, okay. See if it builds now. Nathan's codes. Now, the worst situation is when you're getting errors from a change that you don't remember making. That's also bad, yeah. Or when you keep changing things, but it's not updating because you're changing the wrong file that happened to be deleted, but it's still in the editor because it's cached. And so you're sitting there wondering why your print statements are still not changing. So it's also very annoying. RNC3. Yo, Gabe, I'm interested in learning to code, but I'm complete noob. Any suggestions on where to start? This whole world seems so overwhelming. I don't know where to begin. I'm not sure where the best place to start is. I started with Code Academy, but that was after I started with Minecraft, Redstone. And after that, I started with JavaScript games, or like advanced. I started with a book. Yeah, this guy. This is what I started with. And I just went through it and just like copied all the code that he was writing and stuff. I don't know if that's the best way to learn, but I just did that and then fixed things when they broke. Yeah, and just kind of went from there. And then Code Academy was like my second dive into deeper learning and stuff. I don't know if there's any tried and true method. Just find a project you want to do. For me, that was games. And then find a tutorial and try and follow it. And then make sure you add extra stuff, because if you're just following the tutorial, you're not going to learn. If you're just copying the code, you need to actually fix the errors yourself and try and figure out what's happening. But yeah. And you start with the book, Teach Yourself C++ in 21 Days. Nice. Problem with happens to link anyways is that you get an error from a change that you already thought you undid. I really hope it works this time, because otherwise I've just wasted time waiting for this to compile yet again. Man, and this is all just trying to get it to run again. I didn't really add much here. I mean, I did add some stuff, but I really want to start trying to match things and see if the regexes work and all that stuff. Okay, final stretch. All right, almost there. No. Not quite, but it looks like we're getting somewhere. Already defined, unresolved external symbol. Okay, so now these things are actually important. So it looks like this worked though. Let's go ahead and add this to extra compile stuff. So instead of doing that, we're gonna have, see, it worked here. Weird. I don't know. I'm done with trying to fix pre-make stuff though. I can never remember which one it is to add extra options. Okay, build options. Maybe, no, I don't think. Maybe that is it. Let's see. Pre-make build options.